As we get older, we manage to conquer old fears by realizing that they were trivial and that they didn't matter. In order to do that, we first have to understand what actually matters to us. For me, that also led to the emergence of other fears that came from deep within. The main one is the fear of not being able to achieve my goals for reasons that I can't control. An accident or a disease that would leave me physically or mentally unable to carry out my projects. That led me to think that I should do as much as possible as long as I can, that I should risk my life to achieve my goals. And this realization makes me work hard even today. But it resulted into feelings of guilt whenever I feel like I haven't been productive enough, into lack of sleep and periods of low social interactions. When you fail several times at meeting your or other people's expectations, you wonder if it's worth it to keep going. What is there to find at the end for you? Is there even an end to it? Being uncomfortable and suffering sometimes are necessary to grow, but is it worth it if that's all you get out of it? How far exactly should you go to achieve your goals? In 5 centimeters per second, a Japanese animated movie by Makoto Shinkai, most commonly known for directing Your Name, a boy and a girl become friends in elementary school. I'm gonna sum up the whole movie in a few minutes, so, if you don't want to be spoiled, you can skip this part. The story starts in the 90s and is set in 3 different eras, ending in 2008. In the first part, the girl leaves the city because of her parents' job. The boy learns soon after that he's gonna have to move to the other part of the country. He decides to take the train alone to go see the girl before they can't anymore. They share a moment and promise each other that one day they'll be able to watch the cherry blossoms together. Several years later, the boy is in high school. He's lost contact with the girl but still writes her emails that he ends up deleting right after. He seems absent, always thinking about something else, or rather someone else. 10 years later, he works as a programmer in Tokyo. His current girlfriend leaves him, he quits his job, and seems to cope with alcohol. It's not said directly, but we see empty bottles of beer in his apartment. The girl is about to get married. And this is how the movie ends. The boy's goal of watching the cherry blossoms with the girl, this goal consumed him slowly for about 15 years. It's always been there in the back of his mind and preventing him from appreciating his current life. 5 centimeters per second is a beautifully sad story that warns us about false hopes. Even if hope is extremely important to stay sane and motivated, if no action is taken to get closer to your goals, then it can become toxic. When you have no control over a situation, like the kids getting separated after elementary school, this is really difficult to deal with. But if there's a slight opportunity for you to change and control the situation, you have to take it. There's a theory that happiness happens when reality meets our expectations, so if we set the bar too high from the beginning, it speaks for itself. We can't grow if we're always under control. We have to face what makes us uncomfortable. We have to take risks. Risks like practicing by putting ourselves in situations that are slightly too difficult for our current skill level. For an artist, that would mean that you can't just draw faces over and over or the same haircut all the time. We have to step up progressively by breaking down big goals into smaller ones. If happiness strikes when reality meets our expectations, then by setting lower goals, we're also happier, right? But then again, even if you know how to get there, for how long should you keep going? No one knows for sure if something's gonna work. There is a lot of luck involved, things that are far out of our own reach. That's why the only thing we can do is lower the risks of failure. If at the start you have 99% chance to fail, what can you do on a daily basis to make it lower? Having a clear, quantifiable goal is a must, because you can then work backwards to know which steps to take and what skills to improve. If you want to go full-time on a project, my only advice would be to have money, and it's dumb, but it's true. With money you can buy time, and you can pretty much know exactly how much time you have to reach your goal. If you have $30,000, maybe you can give yourself an entire year. This is how far you can go. Failure is always possible, and Never run the risk to lose everything if you fail. All or nothing kind of deals don't work, it's just luck. Always check how you feel about your current situation. Never take what you have for granted, good or bad, and act accordingly to make your situation better. Lower the risks of failure by setting lower, more palpable goals, and estimate time with money and money with time for full projects. I just wanted to mention all of this quickly because, stories and, mangas like Bakuman, where characters risk their lives and, they're super pumped and super motivated about it. This isn't real life. It's certainly really inspiring, and it's what motivated me to start drawing comics in the first place. But the reality, how you feel on a daily basis, what you think about before going to sleep, the mood changes because of how exhausted you are. This is the reality of it, if you're not careful. Japan has a really specific work culture. There's an extremely high social pressure to succeed. There's also a high suicide rate. This work ethic shouldn't be a standard or a goal for younger creators. We can't always control our work environment, and it too often results in really unfortunate situations that freak me out. But in this situation, in the situation where you're a creator and you want to achieve your goals, you have control over it. Maintain this control. It's too easy to lose yourself under enormous projects. Guys, bros, gals, you've sent a lot of touching comments and you're giving me a chance to get out there and show what I can do, and hopefully more people can find meaning in it. I'll try not to blow it. Thank you, and see you soon.